And
but we're live. There we go. We are here. We're in there. You're on the Island of Relevancy. I do appreciate anyone who is here. I am your highly favored and gracious host, T, and we got Frank in the building. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing wonderful, except as I'm typing in the YouTube right now to like type Island of Relevancy to share it on my Facebook. Unfortunately, Islands in the Stream comes up. And I was going to stop and just listen to Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton do Islands in the Stream real fast. But
nice. I mean, you can't go wrong with Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. You
Not
really
at all.
can't.
Not at all.
You really can't. What a time in the 80s.
There it is.
Like that was a great time.
It was a great time.
I mean, but we're kind of in a weird time right now in the WWE. And Friday afternoon, I want to say it was, in our Discord, in our wrestling Discord chat, we just started getting breaking news of everybody's Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, blowing up because there were a bunch of releases happening all throughout the day on Friday, which kind of soured a lot of people to SmackDown. There was some wild internet takes on these releases. I think for the most part, they all make sense because it's something WWE does every single year.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the NBA, kind of like the NFL. Like as you bring in new talent, unfortunately, some talent has to be let go. And we had some pretty surprising names. But out of all of the names that you saw on Friday, who were released, what was the most surprising name that popped out to you?
The most surprising one to me was Dakota, to be honest with you. Like, but at the same time, I understand it from a business perspective because she's hurt all the time. She's so much talent, and the girl is she's absolutely. That has to be why they didn't put the belt on her. That everybody thought she was going to win. Like this isn't a snap decision where I'm assuming this isn't a snap decision. Like, The Rock just showing up one day and messing the whole world up. I'm assuming this is a more well thought out plan behind the scenes. And that's probably why they didn't put the belt on her. It sucks for her, but I think she's going to end up catching on. I hope it's not with AEW. I hope it's with TNA or over in Japan.
Well, then again, nothing AEW does would surprise me. They could definitely throw in. Nothing wrong with getting a boatload of money thrown your way to go out there and do whatever you do.
No, not at all.
But there were some big names. I would say my biggest surprise was Cora Jade with how young she is.
That too.
Like, Cora Jade is super young. Now Dakota Kai is 37. I did not know that.
I didn't know she was that old either.
Yes, at least that's what I've read. I don't fact check me, guys. Like you can. But I read somewhere she was 37, which is really surprising. I mean, she's been wrestling for a while, so this is not.
1988.
Yeah, this is not a surprise. She looks great. She moves great, but I mean, your body could only sustain. I call it the Kobe wall. I hit it when I was 36 years old. When I was in the middle, like Kobe when he turned 36. That's kind of when his game took like this steep decline.
Yeah.
And it happened to a lot of players in the NBA, NFL. You're lucky to last till you're 36 in the NFL, unless you're Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers.
You got me down a rabbit hole now. Kairi Sane's 36.
Mm-hmm. But they've been wrestling all over the world for so long.
Well, and then there was I want to say, I don't know exactly when, but there was a time where people that watched WWE only really knew WWE. They didn't know or watch stuff in Japan and stuff over here and stuff over here. And, you don't talk about anything else. I think MJF said it once. It is the dumbest thing in the world to talk about wrestling and not acknowledge that there's a whole nother world of wrestling going on. And with Triple H, he's kind of broke that barrier down and they talk about it. I mean, hell, Becky Lynch even said in an interview, I think it was on the Sam Roberts interview, where she said that, so Mercedes Moné right now, you can buy text messages from her. She'll text you for $100 And
Correct.
Becky Lynch made a comment saying that Bailey is so lost right now, she's probably paying $100 to get text messages from her best friend.
That was hilarious.
It's
That
hilarious.
that was one of the best Becky Lynch. Becky, I'm not a Becky fan. Like I'm not like I won't say I'm not a Becky fan. I do like Becky Lynch, but I'm not the biggest Becky promo guy. She's not the
Right,
best
right.
promo, but that was hilarious. Like she said that and didn't miss a beat.
No, not at all.
But yeah, and Becky's up there in age, but Becky's a draw though. That's she spoke about that a lot in her interview. That was a really good interview that she did a few days ago, where she was talking about, people don't question the guys who Randy Orton. They don't
Yep.
question the older guys who are still
Mm-mm.
getting themselves over, but people question her. Big difference between her and Randy Orton. Randy Orton is
Huge.
like Randy Orton doesn't just show up, like get injured and then show up and then get a world title match. I mean, he actually won a match at WrestleMania. She won it. Never mind.
To go off what you asked earlier, and I'm looking at some of the releases now. I guess one of the other ones that I'm really, really shocked with was Shayna Baszler, because she was kind of featured in something recently.
This is true.
There weren't a lot of main roster releases. There was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But NXT got punched in the mouth.
NXT is kind of in a weird place now because they have Evolve, they have LFG, so they're bringing in a huge influx of talent. In the Evolve guys, some of those guys are indie darlings, who really already come with a following.
Yeah.
And the LFG guys are the LFG guys. They're growing a following, which Laura Lay, I'm so surprised she didn't win this thing because she has the look. I mean, she's well put together. I hate to say it, she is ethnic. She's not ethnic.
Right.
She's a different ethnicity, which makes her unique. She's a really good English speaker as well. Like, so it just, I mean, she's gonna get signed. I assume she's gonna get signed by the WWE. There's a few. The one girl, I don't know her name. I don't want to call her Bertha, but she looks like a Bertha. Like she's a beast though. Like they had like two girls who were just beasts. But it's really hard right now for those NXT guys to keep who not moving. They don't have any momentum.
Right.
Some of the releases, we had Eddie Thorpe, who just was in a world title picture.
And isn't that's Dakota's boyfriend?
Is it? I didn't know that.
That's her boyfriend, I think.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad he's gone too then. Golly, you lucky son of gun. We had Riley Osborne. He's a young guy. He was a Chase U guy.
Yeah, it's Eddie Thorpe.
After Chase U broke up, man, I did not know that. That's pretty interesting, actually. Gigi Dolan was a big surprise too. Gigi Dolan has this massive internet following of like Gigi stans. Same thing with Cora, which, by the way, apparently Cora has already started her OnlyFans. She's about to become a millionaire. Like she really is about to make a lot of money. But Gigi Dolan has a huge online, like, Twitter's a vacuum, right? I know I'm only seeing like 50 different comments, but those 50 comments are like, oh my gosh, how could you do this to Gigi? Same thing with Jakara Jackson. She had a big following. She got released. Or Mensa. They did this thing last Tuesday where Metaphor broke up. And Metaphor, I thought should have made it to the main roster. They're all entertaining enough. They weren't going to be main event guys, but I really thought that they had something. They had the look. They had Lash, who's going to be a superstar. Like Last Legend is going to be a megastar one day. Her and Bianca are going to have a WrestleMania match. Her and Jade probably will have a WrestleMania match. She has a lot of years ahead of her. We had Big Body Javier Bernal. He got released. He's been hurt a lot. Gallus got released. All NXT guys. And once again, they're making way, I think, for the new wave of younger talent coming up through LFG.
They also, in the past, superstars getting released or wrestlers getting released, was a bad thing, it's not necessarily a bad thing because down the line they can always come back.
Correct.
I don't know. Again, Dakota's older.
Yeah.
Maybe, but some of the younger ones can come back, and then there's stuff they're going out to saying some of the NXT got released because they don't work hard enough and they're late, and there's some crap behind the scene. I don't
That was a
believe the
Meltzer
behind the
report.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Once
I didn't
yeah,
realize.
once
My bad. What's
yeah,
up, Ace? My bad. I did not know that was a Meltzer thing. I would never quote him knowingly, ever, ever, ever.
Yeah.
My bad.
But yeah, I saw that, and once I saw his name, I was like, all right, I'm not paying attention.
I saw like the headline, and I just kept going, so I didn't look too deep into it. But yeah, never again. My bad.
But I mean, Shayna Baszler is 45 years old. I did not know that either.
Damn, I didn't look at her age.
She's 45. Shayna is probably the biggest missed opportunity of all of the people who released because of her. She had that NXT run, which was amazing. She was a badass in NXT. She comes to the main roster. She has like one big match. She loses that match. And then from that point on, Vince kind of stopped and started with her quite a bit. But then
As Vince does.
At one point in time, he just stopped. And when he stopped, she went to the bottom of the card. And no knock on Zoe Stark, but once he paired up with Zoe Starks, it was kind of a wrap for her.
Right.
And I thought they were a good tag team too. I thought they should have had a tag team title run, but they never gave real tag teams a real chance with the tag team titles. And that is not a pun. I did not mean that when Katana Chance and Kaden Carter, who were also released, who was probably the best women's tag team that I think WWE's ever had, because they were like a natural tag team doing a tag team set, you know.
They're not doing real good with their tag team stuff right now to begin with. So I don't know what the hell's going on with that.
I think at some point they're going to retire those tag team titles.
I don't know what else they could do. Like they're not pushing anything with them anyway.
Oh yeah, you're right, man. Shayna Baszler, she could have brought credibility to the women's division.
Yep.
Like they wanted to do with Ronda Rousey, who apparently there have been reports that they're circling back to Ronda Rousey, which is a terrible idea.
I believe that is also a terrible idea.
I did see that, and like seeing that after, like seeing these reports of them thinking about bringing back Ava Marie and Ronda Rousey after releasing Dakota Kai is like a slap in the face. And I don't know how true those reports are.
I hope they're false.
But I mean, I might be in the minority here, but anytime I get to see Eva Marie on screen, I think I'm a happier human being. I don't care about her wrestling; just be there, like just kind of stand in the back. You know, she could have been. She was a great valet when she called Piper Niven Dewdrop, even though that was a dumb name. But like, her being a valet is like Maxine Dupree, just kind of there, just looking spectacular.
Yes.
But yeah, that was the releases that happened on Friday. I mean, I really could spend a long time talking. We had Braun Strowman too, who was probably the biggest name that was released.
But he was breaking down physically.
Yeah.
Like different stories I've read about him, and he's gone through a lot over the last couple of years. But they said he just was breaking down physically. He just didn't have it. He helped elevate Bronson Reed. So Bronson Reed got hurt. As much as we got tired of seeing him come out and do the same thing all the time, he did do good for them, for a lot of them. He probably has a good career behind the scenes somewhere.
You know, I thought the same thing. That was the first thought. When I saw he got released, I was like, they're probably going to bring him back at some point to be a coach, to be somebody who helps the big men out. Kind of like they have Ivar doing that behind the scenes. But Ivar is still active. You get Braun out there. Braun has knowledge. I mean, he's still kind of young in the business. Like he came out with the Wyatts and he was super green. But he learned a lot, and he learned it really fast.
Yeah.
Like he picked up the business really fast. And hopefully the good thing, like you said, there's so many avenues that these young superstars can go and still make money. Matt Cardona, posted a really good thing on X. You got three options. You could either fade in obscurity, you can wallow in your own self pity, or you can go on the indies and reinvent yourself and become a megastar and make a boatload of money. Right. And Shotzi, who I did not write down because
Right.
Shotzi didn't get released. Shotzi, her contract is just going to expire.
Right.
But Shotzi is another one. She's an indie darling. She was already an indie darling before she came to the WWE. And she's gonna make a boatload of money on the indies. Like, and if she goes to AEW, she goes to New Japan, she goes to Stardom, Marigold, whatever you want to call any organization, TNA, with MLW. I mean, they don't have a huge budget, but once again, you're still getting paid.
Yeah.
They're not getting $500 a show anymore. At least
No.
these names are. Once you have WWE next to your name,
Yeah.
you're not making that little bit of money anymore. Even the NXT guys, you go somewhere else. And luckily for them, they only have 30 days non-compete. The other guys have a 90-day non-compete.
90's not
So
as bad as having years on it.
that is true. That is true. Because Shotzi posted, she's already ready to take bookings. Like, hey, 30
Good.
days, I'm free game.
Good. Good.
So they're gonna make a ton of money. And of course, there is Corey Jade's OnlyFans. I'm not gonna plug that too much more.
Yeah,
I'm
you can
not gonna
Google that
plug
and
that.
find it.
Yeah. You know where to find her. She actually has a different name, but I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to plug somebody's you
I
know
know.
uh,
I
notorious site unless I'm getting paid for it.
exactly.
But moving on, unless they're sponsoring the show. Because if they sponsor this show,
I will
then
talk about it all day.
I'll plug everybody's OnlyFans.
Hell yes.
But moving on, that led us into a very somber SmackDown, at least on the internet, because I was really paying attention Friday night on what was going on X, probably more than I was watching SmackDown because of the releases. They were coming in, people were posting their goodbyes, and that was really sad, man. Like, I found out about Riley Osborne. I think I found out about Ora Mensa as well, through a post of his, like saying,
Oh,
thank you
wow.
for memories. And so it kind of drug SmackDown down because a
I
lot of people were just dragging WWE online.
I didn't watch it. I went Friday night, I went down to where I play hockey. They did like an all-star game for the over 50 league. They had a radar gun there, so they were timing people's slap shots and stuff like that. So I jumped in and did that and had them time my slap shot. Figured I would hit like 12, maybe 15 miles an hour. And I popped it with an 85-mile-an-hour slap shot. So I was pretty happy about that.
Wow,
Right? But
man.
but to wow that, there was a guy, the guy that had the hardest hit 96. Like, and we were like, we took it from, if you know a hockey rink, they have the two circles. We were basically at the top of the circles, just shooting at the net, no running up on foot.
Yeah.
It was just stand there, shoot the ball. And, I was pretty happy with the 85. I felt good. But I missed SmackDown because I was hanging out, had a couple of beers with the guys, and it was just a nice, fun night watching the game and stuff like that. I'm
I'll
not
be
really upset that I missed SmackDown this week.
yeah, I would say you really didn't miss much. I mean, so SmackDown kind of started off hot though. So you got Damian Priest showing up to the arena, and he immediately gets in Solo and Jacob's face, and they're like backstage. And as they're getting into it, LA Knight walks by him, which is a production thing that I love that WWE does. LA Knight walks by him. He's like, let's talk about it. And he walks out to the ring. They hit his music. I love that. I
Yeah, I
really
like that
love that
stuff.
walk from the back. LA Knight's music hits. And God, he's so over. Like, I'm not the biggest LA Knight guy, but when his music hits, there is a buzz in the place. Like, the crowd comes unglued. He comes out there. He does his shtick,
I
and he
have
calls
thoughts
out
about
Damian Priest. Go ahead.
Oh, I have thoughts about him when we get to the backlash stuff. I have thoughts.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But yeah, Damian Priest comes out, and they had a really good they had a really good segment where it naturally built to a fight. Like, they came off respectfully at first, like, "Hey, I respect you, you know, I don't have a problem with you." And then it just built up because Damian Priest has really turned into a guy. He's becoming the good guy Drew McIntyre. Like,
Right. Right.
he's doing the Drew stick, but in a good, like, a good guy fashion, where he's just like, I'll still beat you up. Like, like, talk all like, I respect you, but I'll still punch you in the face. And that led to a match. It was supposed to be the main event, but they're like, "Hey, let's do it right now." They did it right then and there. Of course, shenanigans happen.
Of course.
Like, of course, shenanigans happen throughout the match. Solo shows up, Jacob shows up, everybody gets into a tussle, and the match gets thrown out. Um, Ends up being a no contest because, like, Solo can't help himself. Jacob can't help himself. And yeah, that match happened. It was a solid match up into the shenanigans, but I mean, I feel like all the LA Knight matches are turning into the same match. Like, they
Yeah.
don't really differ from each other. Like, everybody else, they might be sprinkling a little bit of different, but I feel like his matches all are turning into the exact same match, no
I
matter who, Drew,
I feel
Damien.
like he's plateaued where he's at. And again, when we talk about Backlash, I got some stuff.
We'll circle back to the LA Knight. So yeah, that match ended up in a no contest. The bad guys reign supreme because Jacob has to come across as an ultimate badass, as he has been, you know, the last few months. Ever since, you know, the bloodline broke up, Jacob's just really
Yeah,
coming to his own.
big time.
We get Fraxium and Pretty Deadly, and what you would think is just a standard, you know, tag team match. Both good tag teams. It was a solid tag team match. Fraxium, of course, wins. They're putting the rocket on Fraxium to be, you know, one of the top teams on SmackDown. They beat Pretty Deadly in a pretty solid match. Like,
Okay.
Pretty Deadly, the cutoff shirts and all, they're pretty good wrestlers, man. Like, they're a pretty good tag team too. So they had a pretty solid match. Um, but nothing really to write home. Fraxum's just getting his stuff in. Like,
Right.
Fraxum's getting the crowd behind him, getting his stuff in, letting the crowd get to see all of their high flying antics. And these guys do some amazing moves in the ring, and they have some great tag team moves that I really wish would jump to WWE 2K25 or 26. Like, they have tag team moves that I just wish were in the game.
Maybe they'll give you a DLC.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Then we have my favorite segment of the night.
Okay.
So me, Chin, and BFAB are in the back. Now, anytime I started with me, Chin, and BFAB, you would think, how does this become your favorite segment of the night? But Chelsea Green
Uh,
pops in. BFAB and Michin are like talking about they want tag team goal, but they also recognize the fact that Liv Morgan is going to be gone for a while. Like, this is what are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? I know literally BFAB says, I know Liv Morgan's going to be gone for a few weeks, but when she comes back, we want a tag team title match. What are y'all doing? Like,
I
but
I don't get it.
Chelsea Green comes in dressed in all black in a black trench coat with a black veil over her face in mourning because she lost her tag team title with the Secret Harvest. And she she brightened up the whole mood of this segment because she's so ridiculous. She comes in there, you know, complaining to Nick all this. I want a rematch. And that ends up leading into Piper Niven getting a match against Alina later on that night. And if Piper Niven won, she will become the number one contender, which
Right.
definitely let me know that Piper wasn't going to win.
Right. Right.
um, but then you have Nia Jax. She comes out. She gets booed out of the building. She does a promo. Tiffany comes out, says that, you know, she's not Nia's little errand girl anymore. And we get Jade come out there, then Naomi comes out, and that kind of leads us to our main event, which is a main event tag team match between Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi and Nia Jax, which any
Okay.
other week probably would have been a great match, but this one turned into something different. This one just turned into something else. But we'll get to there. That's the main event. That kind of set up the main event. Next, we had something that intrigued me. We had Aleister Black versus The Miz. And
Yeah, I
Aleister
saw that that was gonna be a thing.
So Aleister Black and The Miz had a pretty solid match. The Miz at one point in time went for the skull crushing finale, and Aleister Black flipped out of it. Like he went to hit him with it. As he was going down, Aleister Black flips out of the skull crushing finale, which looked fantastic.
Oh, I'll have to go look
Um,
that up.
yeah, it was pretty standard match. It wasn't a squash match. You know, Black didn't just come in and kick him in the face and win the match. There was some shenanigans. Carmelo was outside the ring, but after Aleister Black beat The Miz, Carmelo got in the ring, and there was a stare down between Aleister Black and Carmelo Hayes, and that is a match I want to see.
That's gonna be a good match.
That is a match I really want to see. And Black is not that much bigger than him either, so they kind of like I feel like their styles are gonna mesh really well. I don't know if I don't know if you've ever watched NXT, but one of Aleister Black's best matches he ever had was with Velveteen Dream. They had a stand and deliver match that was
Okay.
just amazing, and I feel like Carmelo could bring that back out of him, like a really good banger match between those two. So
Cool.
not a great match.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, it's like cool. I that sounds like it's
Oh
gonna
yeah.
that sounds awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Not a great match, but the stare down kind of just it got me intrigued. I think those two mesh a lot better than The Miz, who, once again, I would never knock The Miz. Like, The Miz is one of the greatest wrestlers
Yeah.
to ever step in the ring. You know, I'm not saying he's a Mount Rushmore guy, but like he is paid his dues. He deserves a lot more respect than he gets. But right now, he's kind of at that part of his career where he's really putting the younger guys over. He's doing everything for WWE to keep, you know, to one, keep his name relevant, but two, elevate the WWE. He is a company guy through and through, and I respect him for that, especially after all he went through. Then we stepped into the LDF, the del Fantasma Vortex, where Ray Phoenix and Santos Escobar start arguing with each other. And you know, Santos is saying, which actually was Santos Escobar's probably his best promo. You know, backstage where him and Ray were talking about being the best luchador, which led to a match later on that evening. But Santos, he's missing something.
Yeah.
Like I, d- I really wish I knew what it was because he has the look. He has a great look. He has a great theme. He has a great presence. He has a great entrance. He's a great wrestler, but he just can't get him and Andrade. They just can't get a. Actually, I would say a lot of the Latino wrestlers that are not named Rey Mysterio, Penta, or Ray Phoenix, they're having a really hard time getting over. And I don't know. I don't know if it's just the packaging of Penta and those guys that are making them get so
Yeah.
instantly over, but I mean, Santa, like, I just don't know what it is because I really think he's a great wrestler. I know he's a great wrestler, but he just can't. He just can't. He just can't get over. I don't know what he has to do. But next we get the Zelina Vega Piper Niven match, which turned into shenanigans.
Of course.
Zelina actually beat Piper Niven because of the shenanigans. Piper got distracted and Zelina rolled her up and she got the 1-2-3. Very slow 1-2-3, but she got the 1-2-3 on this roll up. But Zelina's on a little tear.
Yep.
I don't know. Chelsea Green just signed a new multi-year deal with the WWE. So I think they have to. They have to put the belt back on Chelsea. Like Chelsea just elevates the belt. Like
I think so. Maybe by
And
SummerSlam or Money in the Bank.
I would say unless they give her the Money in the Bank, which I'm for. Like
Yeah.
that would make me happy. I'm a Chelsea fan.
I know. I'm a big Chelsea fan.
Like that, yeah, I didn't even think of that because we're definitely going to talk about Money in the Bank once we get to the backlash preview. But next we get all this talking to Solo and for Jacob Fatu. It was supposed to be a 3-way, right? It started off with just LA Knight and Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu at Backlash. And Solo said, no, Damian Priest. Oh, no. It's supposed to be Damian Priest and LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. But he's like, no, Drew won the match last week, so it should just be Drew. And Nick was like, no, okay, well, since Drew did win the match, let's make it a fatal 4-way. and Jacob just looked at Solo like, man, you could have just shut. But at the same time, Jacob then said, I don't care. You put 1, 2, 100. Like, it don't matter. I'm going to knock them all down because I'm all gas, no breaks.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You know?
That's my man.
But yeah, Jacob's just great. Randy Orton came out and cut a promo. We'll move on. It was a promo just talking about John Cena. And
we got no Cena. We got no Cody.
Yeah, you get nobody else. And once again, no knock on Randy. He's a legend.
Sure.
But he did say he was going to punt John Cena as his Lego-shaped head. That was
I watched the promo. I did watch the promo. That was the best part of the promo.
That was the best part. The Lego-shaped head line.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was very standard fare. Not that great. Then we get probably the most intriguing thing about SmackDown. R-Truth confronted Randy Orton in the back, says, hey, John Cena is going to beat you at Backlash. I think they need to turn R-Truth heel. I think R-Truth needs to be John Cena's do-boy until R-Truth then turns faces Cena, and then Cena then turns face after somebody beats up R-Truth.
I could see that happening. I could see that happening. You're not going to put a belt on R-Truth, but
unfortunately, no. Yeah.
But having him beat up a guy at some point that is his world's biggest fan might be the start of the turn back.
Yes. I because these promos have to lead somewhere. I give Road Dogg a lot of flack because he deserves it.
Sucks.
Yes, he does. But they've been planting these seeds with R-Truth in the back, and I really hope it leads to something, and not just like a John Cena dissing him moment because he's already done that. But like Truth just because he and Jimmy then after that comes and tries to, hey, Truth, let me talk to you, and that's why I thought like maybe Truth's going to turn on Jimmy and just beat Jimmy down and like in the name of John Cena because he did it for The Rock, like kind of like
right.
He does it for John Cena. Like that was just me fantasy booking. I just would love to see R-Truth in a meaningful program in 2025.
Me too. I think he deserves it.
He definitely does. Like if anybody deserves it, he definitely deserves to be in a meaningful program. Then we have Rey Fenix versus Santos Escobar. High flying galore. Phoenix won via pinfall. He won with a senton off the top rope. That was the first time he's won with that move.
Nice.
It looked impressive, but it was a senton off the top rope. I feel like Mercedes Moné does that every match, and like there's a few other people who do that every match.
But it's a good match overall.
Yeah, it was a solid match, but I didn't care about it. Like I probably was playing on my phone during the match. I watched a few spots, but yeah. Then we get backstage segment before the main event where Santos is then running down Legado del Fantasma because they weren't out there to help him. And then Andrade walks up and was like, hey, you guys don't have to take this. And all I thought to myself was, who elevates who here?
Yeah.
Nobody. Nobody cares.
Not unless they all go over to AAA.
Yeah, man. So we don't care, but AAA would. They'll probably be all 4 of them. Probably have championship belts. By the end of the week if they went over to AAA. For sure, man. I didn't even think of that. That's a great damn point. That would do it. That would definitely do it. But we get to the main event: Nia Jax, Naomi, Tiffany Stratton. Did you watch this match?
No, I think I saw that.
I would say, what do you think happened at the end of this match?
I'm going to assume that Nia Jax sat on Tiffany. I think I watched. Maybe I did not watch the end.
No. So Jade powerbombed Nia Jax off the top rope when she tried to go for an annihilator. And she beat. And Jade and Tiffany Stratton won. There is something off with Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. I think both of them need to be heels. Honestly, I think that's probably the thing that's off the most. Because of the way their moveset are, the way moveset works, it just doesn't work. Yeah. And they don't have that baby face. The hot tag, the babyface hot tag, like they just I don't know what it is. But that they end up being shenanigans after the match. Naomi ends up standing tall at the end of the match, holding up the world title over Jade because Jade and Tiffany got into a tiff over the world title, and then Naomi comes in and knocks Jade into Tiffany and picks up the title and stands tall, which I'm there for. I think Naomi had that interview where she was talking about wanting to start.
I remember mentioning that last week. I could see her winning at some point.
Yeah, I could see her winning a title and then, dropping the title probably to Jade before Jade then drops it to Bianca or vice versa, whichever one. And then she goes off and hopefully has a very healthy and happy family. Because she deserves it. Naomi's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
And that ended SmackDown. Do you have any list for us?
I do. So I don't know how this list is going to go. I got this off the Sportster. This is the 10 best wrestlers managed by Paul Heyman.
Oh, I was hoping you said that.
Since we're going into Raw and we got some Paul Heyman stuff coming up in Raw, I figured let me find one of these. There's multiple different tiers of lists like this, and I don't know how this is going to go. Same thing I do on the Geek Spot. I don't look at these ahead of time because it's more fun for in the moment reaction.
Correct.
So at number 10, we have the Big Show. And just by your face, right? Just by your face,
was a guy. Was a Paul Heyman guy.
I know this is going to be a good list.
Okay.
So apparently, Big Show ran with Paul Heyman from 2002 to 2003 and in 2006. And won the WWE Championship and the ECW World Championship while under Paul Heyman. He
turned on Brock, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay. I vaguely remember that. Yes.
Right. And that apparently helped push Big Show up where he needed to be at the time.
Yeah. Because him and Brock had some bangers.
Yeah.
Like him and Brock had some really good matches.
Yep. All the way down at number 9, the Usos.
Okay, I don't like this list. I don't like this list.
I don't like this list that much either, because it's not a strong showing. So from 2020 to 2023, they had one SmackDown Tag Team Championship, one Raw Tag Team Championship, but they were also the longest reigning championship. They held the SmackDown tags for 622 days, shattering the New Day's record of 483 days, and then they defeated RK Bro 306 days into their reign to unify the belts.
Correct.
And then they held them forever.
Correct.
Right. At number 8, Arn Anderson.
What year was this? Did it say year he?
So Arn Anderson ran with Paul Heyman from 91 to 92, and he was the spokesman for the Dangerous Alliance, basically. Huh. So he won the WCW World Tag Team Championship twice and the television championship once. I missed the World Television Championship.
Man, Arnett. So as you said that, right when you said his name, I was like, oh, he was definitely the TV champion like 3 or 4 times.
Right.
That was when I think of television championship, I think of Arn Anderson.
Yep.
That's the first name that comes to my mind. Yeah.
So the Dangerous Alliance, for those that don't remember, had Ravishing Rick Rude, Stunning Steve Austin, Larry Zbyszko, and Beautiful Bobby Eaton and Arn Anderson.
God, I love Bobby Eaton, man.
What a great just nickname central.
Yes.
At number 7, the Dudley Boys, who had a run with Paul Heyman as manager in 2004 and won the WWE Tag Team Championship.
What is this list? I don't understand. I mean, okay, there are some bigger names. Like he has some bigger names, but okay, keep going.
So you're going to hate it even more because they have at number 6 Brock Lesnar, who should be number 2, in my opinion. Right?
What?
Absolutely should be number 2 on this list. Okay?
Okay.
He ran with Paul Heyman in 2002, then from 2003 to 4, then from 2012 to 20, then 2022. He had 5 WWE championships and 3 Universal championships under Paul Heyman.
I don't
know why.
All honesty,
6.
Keep going. I would love to hear who the next 5 are.
You're going to hate this list even more now.
Oh my gosh.
Because at number 5, the Tribal Chief is all the way down at number 5 with Paul Heyman.
This is from the Sportster?
This is from the Sportster.
Oh, it's a good thing I don't subscribe to
No, neither do I.
Man.
From 2020 to the present day, well, the list is about a month or 2 old.
Yeah.
1 Universal Champion, 1 WWE Champion, 1,400 days. Right? That alone makes him number 1.
Yes. I mean, it's debatable. Like Brock and Roman, like I understand the title reign length, but like Roman is synonymous as being the Paul Heyman guy.
So how about number 4, CM Punk?
I knew you were going to say that. Like I'm extremely
from 2012 to 2013 with 1 WWE championship.
So disappointed in this list.
He's the first Paul Heyman guy, or the first to call himself the Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah.
But he's number 4 on the Sportster's list of the best wrestlers. So it says managed by Paul Heyman. So
they're gonna say Stone Cold is number 1. I can feel it.
Kurt Angle's number 3.
Kurt, like the Olympic gold medalist?
Kurt Angle was managed by Paul Heyman from 2002 to 2003 and won the WWE Championship once.
I don't remember that, but I don't know how okay.
He was technically a Paul Heyman guy.
I mean, I get that, but like, how do you rate him over Roman Reigns?
After Paul Heyman betrayed Brock and helped Big Show win the championship, Heyman betrayed Big Show at Armageddon 2002 and went with Brock.
Oh,
I
man,
do
that's
not
funny.
in any universe think this list is good.
Yeah, no, this is
not
terrible.
even in the alternate reality where the Fantastic Four are living right now. Do I think this list is good?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
This is
Number
terrible.
2, me and Mark Callis as the Undertaker is the number 2 guy for Paul.
Okay. I was a huge Mark Callis. The Heart Punch was like a deal back in the day.
He ran with him for 1 year and won no belts.
Because he was only in WCW, I think, for like 1 year, and then he left.
And
I loved it.
The number 1 person,
Michael
according to the Sportster, the young lion from the Alliance, Stunning Steve Austin.
I knew he was going to be number 1.
Who was the world television champion twice in his 1 year run before he became Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes. The blonde hair, Hollywood blondes.
This list is absolute garbage.
So that's a list just to get people to talk about the sports stuff.
Oh my God.
That's a list of all the all of the bloodline stands, comforting neck, just so they can get more clicks. Oh, what's going on, Kenny? How you doing, man?
Hey,
It is just you.
But real fast, because I have to redeem myself. Okay. I have to go to Chat GPT and just type in top 10 Paul Heyman guys. Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Let me do this top 10 this way and see if we can't. Yeah, see, this is a little bit better. Interesting. At number 10, we have Curtis Axel.
Because
2013.
I knew he would be on there.
Okay.
He won the Intercontinental Championship.
At number 9, he has Cesaro. They have Cesaro. This is Chat GPT.
Okay, this is a terrible list.
No, it gets better. It does get better. Because this one I actually can see the top before I get to the bottom. At number 8 is the Dudley Boys. Okay. Number 7 is Kurt Angle. Number 6, the whole damn show.
Man,
Rob Van Dam.
He should be higher.
He should be higher than Steve Austin at 5 and Big Show at 4.
But then again, I think of Rob Van Dam as a Bill Abner guy. Like I think when I think of Rob Van Dam, I think of Bill Abner. I don't think of Paulie.
Chat GPT got the top 3 in a decent order. CM Punk at 3, Roman at 2, Brock at 1. I would flip-flop Roman and Brock personally and put Roman at 1 just because of the whole entire bloodline. Which I still don't think is over. I do not think that's over. I think we're still going to come back around that and it's all going to come back together again down the line.
I do. It has to. It has to. It was too good of a run to just let it die. And they're still family. You know?
I apologize to everyone in the world for reading that list. I tried. It was awful. Maybe next week I'll do the best entrances or the, something cooler like that.
Oh, that was a terrible list. But
it was really, really, really a bad list.
We went from the greatest Paul Heyman guy to maybe potentially the future greatest Paul Heyman guy.
It's possible.
So we go to Omaha, Nebraska for Monday Night Raw. And Jey Uso kicks off the show. And you have to feel the energy in everywhere he goes. I mean, it's not France, right? When he was in Nice, that was probably the greatest Jey Uso entrance ever. We'll never replicate that. I don't think we'll ever get that again. But boy, they tried in Omaha because he came out there, he does his thing. They have him do his music twice. It was just great. And he comes out there to call out Logan Paul because Logan Paul, talked smack last week, got super kicked. But another Paul came out. Paul Heyman comes out, right? And the world's thinking to itself, oh yeah, much better Paul. Better looking Paul too. God bless Paul Heyman. Crazy thing is like Paul Heyman is younger than a lot of people think.
Did you see the tweet from Kevin Owens? Mm-hmm. The other tweet from Kevin Owens where he tweeted at Seth Rollins and there's a picture of Braun and there's a picture of Paul and then Seth in the middle and he asked Seth if he was going to get the golden spray
tan. I did see that one, yes.
And yes, and the camera was shaking versus AJ and Cody, even though I did not agree with AJ being his first match. France was probably one of the greatest auras of a crowd that we've seen in years. And I say that as having been here in Philadelphia for WrestleMania 40, if I haven't mentioned that before.
All right, moving on to France. I would say France and Puerto Rico. Those were two of probably my favorite crowd reactions that I think ever. Because they were small venues. Yep. Moving on, we had Paul Heyman come out, and Paul Heyman went through, I want to say, every single emotion that a human could go through in a promo. Look at
Penny, you're right. Paul Heyman looked like a full Samoan out there. He was the same complexion as Jay. Ain't wrong.
You're right.
Ain't wrong.
You're right. I don't. I mean, you've watched the movie The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. That's like where he gets like the spray tan and then gets in the tanning bed after he sprays himself down. Like that was Paul Heyman.
It's like
Monday.
Ross on Friends.
Yeah. I've never watched the episode of Friends.
That moment is pretty funny.
Okay. I'm gonna take your word for it.
He's supposed to get sprayed, and he's in a stand-up spray tan machine. He's supposed to get sprayed, count to like 3, and then turn around and get his back sprayed. And he misses the light and doesn't do it and gets sprayed on the front. And then he like does it again, and it happens again. Then he does it again. He did it like 3 straight times where he got like 3 number 2s sprayed on his face, and the guy was like, "Oh, that's bad," and he was like dark. It was hilarious.
I hate myself for laughing at a Fringe joke, but but you know what?
It's not a
I'll be there for you, Frank.
It's all right.
I'll be there for you. But we have Paul Heyman. He comes out there, and I guess part of his master plan was to break down and like cry in the middle of the ring and show you the deep levels of Emmy-winning emotion that Paul Heyman can do on Monday Night Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about, how CM Punk portrayed him, CM Punk put him in an unwinnable position, and how then Roman put him in an unwinnable position by pushing him and all of these different things. But Seth is the one. Seth was the one who made sure he was okay. A lot of things were being said, but I just remember him just crying, and I'm just like, why are you yelling? Why are you so emotional? Like he really went through it. It was insane. It really was it was perhaps his greatest performance. One of his greatest performances.
One of the only other performances that I can remember him doing was when he got put through the table at Madison Square Garden, and what he said outside of what he did. He didn't dye his hair. He didn't sleep for over a day. He ate awful foods to give him that puffy, bloated complexion. Like, he is a method actor on a level that like Jared Leto would go, damn. And I love it.
Yes.
And the man deserves some kind of an award, not just a Hall of Fame.
For what he's done for the business. Yes, you're right. And his commitment to everything that he's doing. Which I really do think the spray tan thing was done on purpose. There was a purpose to it, probably to make him more red when he started crying and when he started, because at one point it looked like he was convulsing. Like it really did look like he was in pain a lot because of the red.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I really do. I do think it was to match Braun too. I would not put it past them. And that's kind of a spoiler, because I do think that down the line there's going to be a moment where you got to pick a side, and he's going to roll with Braun.
Absolutely going to roll with Braun.
Yeah, for sure. But this is one of Paul Heyman's greatest promos. I didn't write any notes on what was being said. I just remember the emotion, right? I don't have any like super detailed lines, but he just went through everything. And Jey Uso actually kind of held his own in there. I mean, they weren't going back and forth, but there was a funny sign where he just looked at him and was like, "You all right?" And that was hilarious because he looked like he was going to die. And Jay just looked at him like, "Man, you really are, looking worse for wear."
I truly believe, to piggyback off what Kenny asked about feeling like Paul and Braun will betray Seth, I fully believe, and I hope it goes this way, that at some point Paul betrays Seth sides with Roman, and you get that mini Shield reunion, not now, not even at WrestleMania 42, down the line. Sometime near the end of their run, because Roman's only got 2 years left on his contract, I think, 2, maybe 3. Somewhere down there, kind of bring those two guys back into the same path.
I'm going to do you one better. I think Dean Ambrose is going to come back at some point. This Death Riders thing is not really hitting the way they want it to hit.
Dean Ambrose?
I mean, he exists somewhere.
You know what? Oh my God. I was thinking Dean Malenko for some stupid reason.
Oh my.
I
Dean.
need to go. I need to go.
Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, the AEW World Champion. I think at some point
He's got
we are gonna get the Shield.
I think he's got like 3 he just signed, didn't he?
Maybe a year ago. Like, I think he does what he wants to do.
He signed a 5-year extension, so
I don't
he's there till 2027. It's only
I
2
don't believe
years.
that is only 2 years.
Uh,
I really I really, I really think at some point Dean, uh, I keep calling him Dean, John Moxley is going to
Ro
show back up, and we're gonna have a moment.
so Roman's contract expires after Mania 42 in 2026. He
He's
might
gonna resign.
possibly sign one more contract.
Yeah. He's not gonna be the old guy. He's not gonna be Randy Ram Robinson. Like, he's not gonna be that guy, because his health.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing
Yep.
is his health, and you don't want to
Mm.
lessen your chances of surviving something that really, would have taken a lesser man out a long time ago, and they would have not even tried. But, I mean, he is the tribal chief. He can beat everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely gonna get the bag.
Yep.
So we had that promo, which was amazing, and then we go into JD McDonough versus Penta, which JD McDonough doesn't know how to put on a bad match.
No,
Penta
I
doesn't
watched
know how
this
to put
match.
on
This
a
was
bad
actually
match.
pretty good.
It was a pretty damn good match because JD McDonough is a damn good wrestler. He just has a huge head. Like, he just
Monster head.
yes. Yes.
There'll be an airplane on
Penta
that boy's head.
Yes, Penta put his head through the mat when he hit him with a Mexican destroyer to win the match. Because, like, you have to think, like, when his head flips over and flips into the mat, like, that's like it's like 5 times a normal head hitting the mat.
Yeah.
That's how
You gotta give extra time. The rotation has to be perfect or JD's head's gonna clip the bottom of the mat. Yeah,
yes.
big ass.
But yeah, huge head. But yeah, Penta won that match, which was a very solid match.
Yeah.
Um,
JD needs like 2 do-rags tied together to make it 1 do-rag on his head. That's how big that boy's head is. Damn.
huge head. But speaking of huge heads,
Whew.
next we had Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, who there was word that he had got released on Friday, but
I
that was
thought that too,
yeah,
but just you know what? He needs to be released from Grayson Waller. End it
correct.
already.
Correct.
Please.
This thing has gone on so long. It is a running joke, I think, at this point. The fact that they've been teasing this breakup over a year now. They've been teasing this breakup. And when it happens, nobody's really gonna care at this point. Like,
No.
they would have cared a year ago, maybe.
Yeah.
But Austin, they had a backstage segment, and Austin had got or Grayson got himself in a match, and Austin's upset. He's like, "I want to get a match." He said, "Well, I got you a match tonight." He's like, "Who am I fighting?" He's like, "Oh, it's a surprise." The surprise was a returning Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. Um, Grayson was laughing on the outside of the ring while Austin was looking just distraught that he was gonna have to get his ass handed to him by Sheamus,
And
who
you
won
know
with a
that's
bro
what's gonna
kick.
happen.
Oh yeah, of course. The match was actually a little more. I thought they were just gonna have him squash Austin Theory, but he put up a little fight. But Sheamus won with a bro kick. I don't know what they do with Sheamus anymore. I
He's
don't
got
think he
what, 1
deserves.
belt? He's got 1 belt left to win for the Grand Slam, right?
Yeah, but he can't beat Dom. He can't be the guy to beat.
No, he can't be the one.
And that's the bad thing about Sheamus in this position.
Yep.
Is because, like, he couldn't beat Jay when Jay was the champion. Couldn't be the one who beat Sammy. Like, he couldn't be the one who beat Gunther.
Nope.
Like, he's perpetually, which is sad because, I mean, the guy has a Hall of Fame career. But I definitely don't think he needs to be the one who beat Dom. Like, somebody else beat Dom, and then, he gets his WrestleMania moment probably next year because he
Yeah.
doesn't have too many more WrestleManias in him.
No.
You
don't.
know, I do think he'll get it. I think he'll get that is a great, great. I would pay money to see that match. That would be a great WrestleMania moment right there.
Ooh, Sheamus is
Sheamus versus
47. Yeah.
yeah, he's up there, man. Like he's not a rookie anymore. He ain't a rookie
Uh-uh.
beating John Cena. But he probably is no longer the bar. But he beat the hell out of Austin Theory. I can tell you that much.
Yes, he did.
So then we come. Sheamus wins, and then we find out we're getting Penta versus Dominic versus for the Intercontinental Championship at Backlash. That really just came out of nowhere. I looked at the card, and it's only 5 matches, but there are a lot of people who are not on the card.
Yeah, there are.
I mean, it's only 5 matches, so you're not getting that many people on the card either. But
No.
man, like that's insane.
It's a small card, but
it is.
There also was a promo that I watched, the interview with the great and wonderful Kathy Kelly.
Love her.
Yes. She's training at the Performance Center. She's training, she's taking bumps and she's doing promo work. She's going to be a manager at some point.
I'll be totally honest. I love Kathy Kelly. I just wish I got to see more Jackie Redmond every week, but that's just my personal preference.
She's probably doing NHL stuff. She works for the NHL too.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
That's how she got her start. She's an NHL like reporter person.
Oh, man, but that's cool. Good for Kathy Kelly. Jessica Carr. I don't know if you
wrestling. Yep.
She wrestles on Evolve.
Yep.
She wrestles under a mask. Calypso, I think is her name.
Yeah. But Kathy Kelly interviewed Karrion Kross, who dropped a lot of Killer Cross and look, man, he's there, man. The crowd loves this man, and he's done it generically. He hasn't they haven't forced him into situations.
He's made a lot of situations.
He's made every moment he has on camera count, and he is so over right now also, but he needs to be over as a bad guy.
Yeah.
And I just hope he's gonna I hope he's gonna get in there.
I do too. I don't know how much you know about the Righteous.
I remember a little bit about that was the stuff he did in NXT, right?
No, so the Righteous is a tag team that's in AEW. Vincent and Dutch.
Okay.
These 2 kind of white looking guys. Like one guy kind of looks like a little bit like Eric. Okay. Eric Redbeard, aka Eric Rowan. And the other guy, Vincent, looks a lot like Bray Wyatt.
Okay.
Like he kind of has the dreads, like real weird kind of cultish guys. And he's been doing some stuff on X, kind of signaling that they might be coming. Anything's better than the Authors of Pain, who just kind of stood there and didn't say anything. Like these guys can talk. Would help. So you can't tell. Oh no, the eyes, man. Like Jackie Redmond has the
bluest blue eyes that you can have.
Like Jackie Redmond's eyes are just what like I wouldn't be able to look straight. I'll fold like a laundry.
Yep.
But we come back, we get the Dom Intercontinental title match. AJ shows up in the Judgment Day's locker room, and they asked him how he got there, and he said Truth told him where to go, which was my favorite part of that whole segment.
Hilarious.
Truth told me how to find this. And after your match with Penta, I'm coming after the winner, and we're going to get AJ versus Dom, which is going to be a great lesson in how to wrestle from one of the greatest wrestlers. Dom and AJ is going to be a banger of a match because Dom has become a phenomenal professional wrestler. So that match is going to happen. Then we get my least favorite segment of the night. You guys are going to stop trying to get Lyra Valkyria over.
Yeah, I watched this segment, man.
Stop it.
I just we know what the result is going to be, and we're going to talk about Backlash in a minute. But oh my God, please get her a mouthpiece. Please get her someone that can talk for her. She just She needs to stop. Just stop. I love the accent. I love an Irish accent, but stop.
Man, it's brutal. Becky is trying so hard to be a bad guy. Like when she first turned into the man, she had this thing. Like now she's kind of growling. Like it just is not working for me. And and both of them, like Lyra is doing the right thing. She's playing a come from, the rookie baby face kind of role in this. But like I don't think Becky is the right foil for her. And that could be why it's not working.
Mhm.
Kenny, I've read your comments in the group. You are really behind Lyra. You thought Lyra did really well last week, and I can't really say what I find wrong with it. It just doesn't feel right to me. Like
I get it.
it really doesn't feel right with me. And it might be because I just don't think Becky is a great promo per. Like I don't think she kind of reminds me of Charlotte. Like Charlotte's not a great promo
But
foil for you.
Becky was.
Yes, she was at one point.
Right.
Not now.
Maybe
Not
it's
in this
rust.
current iteration.
Maybe it's rust. Or maybe it's because she's trying so forcefully hard to be a bad guy and
That's
it's
it.
not coming naturally to her.
She comes out there, she's berating everybody, and she's kind of rushing her lines. Like that's what I like. She's rushing it. She's very aggressive and not confident aggressive, but like just very DMX-ish. Like very
Right.
just growly. And it's like
Yep.
it's just not working for me.
No.
And Lyra, just fight. Because they're gonna have a good match and people are gonna get behind Lyra. But this wasn't it.
No.
But speaking of people getting behind someone, boy, do they love Io Sky. Because godly, her and Roxanne had a damn good. Roxanne could have a good match with anybody.
Yep.
Io could have a good match with anybody. They
Yep.
had a great match with each other. And I think Roxanne's going to do perfectly fine on the main roster. She's held her own against Rhea Ripley and she's held her own against Io Sky. She didn't win, but she looked good in losing. That's what I will say. She looked good in losing because she wasn't supposed to beat the champ. Like you're not supposed to go in there and beat the champ. But they had a pretty good match. It is the women's division on Raw. You are right, Kenny. It is cooking. I think, and they have Julia because at the end of the match, Roxanne shook her hand. Julia comes out there. That is a match I want to see. I want to see Julia fight Rhea. I want to see Julia fight Io Sky. Like they have a lot of good potential matches coming up for Roxanne, for Julia, and for the, of course, impending match that those two are going to have against each other.
Kenny, Road Dogg doesn't know what the women's roster on SmackDown is doing. You're not the only one.
Yeah, no, Road. I don't think Road Dogg knows any of their names, probably.
Oh.
But Io Sky won. She won with a sunset flip, which once again doesn't make Roxanne look super weak.
Mhm.
She looked pretty good. And then we had my guy Rusev is back. I fucking love Rusev. Excuse my language. I'll be totally honest, man. I've been a Rusev guy for a long time. Like I've always enjoy a good foreign heel. Like, but he wasn't, that Ivan Koloff type of foreign heel. He was a destroyer, man. He was
Yep.
the destroyer. And he came back and he destroyed Otis. And my favorite part of this match was at the end of the match, Tozawa comes in the ring and was like, "I'll fight you right now," and rips his shirt off. Bless
God
his
bless
heart.
that man.
I love Tozawa too. Oh man. And there was a great shot of Rusev putting Otis in the accolade, and Maxine is in the background just losing it. She's just like beside herself with she's agonizing in pain with Otis, which was a great shot.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing this right. I don't think Rusev is gonna come back and win the world title, anytime soon, but at least, they're doing them right this time. Because
Yep.
Rusev Day was so over. I don't think he'll ever get to those heights again, but I mean,
You never
man,
know.
no, you're right. You never know. But
Crowd is a fickle thing, man.
this is true. But I'm glad to see him back in the ring. I hope they don't just keep feeding Otis to him and it's Tozawa. I think he needs something else. Him and JD will be a good match. Hopefully Bronson Reed comes back. I think that'd
be a great match.
Great match. Rusev versus Bronson Reed. Like I need Bronson Reed to come back ASAP. I want him as a world champion. I'm a big fan of Bronson Reed.
Well, he's got to come back and not get revenge on Seth, but
on Seth, yeah.
On Seth, get revenge, yeah.
Actually, I think if he comes back, he might be part of that group, and then they become really unstoppable.
That'd be kind of awesome.
That would be. But yeah, no, that's another good one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The banger feud with Gunther. I'm not the biggest Ilya Dragunov fan, but once he comes back, he is a great wrestler. I think him and Dominic is gonna have some good matches. I think he might be the one if he comes back to unseat Dominic Mysterio. And probably one of Dominic's best matches. Then we go to commercial, we come back, and Pat McAfee comes to the ring. And say what y'all want about Pat McAfee. That guy could talk. Because him and Gunther had a damn good man.
This is better than the last time Pat spoke because Pat was zeroed in on what he was doing.
Correct.
And that Pat is a good Pat.
Yes.
Last week's Pat was not a good Pat.
As good as Pat was, I think Gunther was a little bit better. Man.
Gunther has his fire back. And I think this is going to be a better match than people give it credit for. Gunther can carry a match, but Pat's also pretty athletic.
He is. We're gonna see some of that athleticism, but you're right. Gunther's gonna carry a lot of that match. I think Pat's gonna do a lot of selling in this match. Because he's gonna take a good old-fashioned ass whooping in this match. Like Gunther is his chest is gonna be as red as Paulie's face was, like by the end of this match.
Mm-hmm.
But that I thought they had a great back and forth. Pat was very fired up, but Gunther was laser focused. Yep. And I love that. That's
the good Gunther.
That is the great Gunther. Not not looking past you. He said, I'm not gonna look past you. You got all my attention. Every bit of it, and I'm gonna get in and I'm gonna maul you. That's my favorite line. I'm gonna maul you, Pat. And he's not lying. That's not a prediction. That is a spoiler.
By the grace of me, you are untouchable tonight, he said.
I love it. Gunther was great, man. Great promo. Yep. That really makes that match feel a lot more important. And that's what good promos are supposed to do. Kind of like Paulie's promo early in the night got us ready for the main event. And Paulie's so good at that. He's so good at selling a match. He could sell Dwayne Ellsworth or like a man against, The Rock. He could sell those matches. His name wasn't Dwayne Ellsworth. What was it? It was Ellsworth. James Ellsworth. There you go. James Ellsworth. Yeah. The chin. But he could sell a great match, man. But speaking of selling great matches, it wasn't time to sell the match. It was time to have the match. The main event, Jey Uso versus Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight Champion.
Seth Rollins coming out in the busted out the leather jacket back when he was the Messiah.
He did.
Oh.
And these guys had a match. And yes, Seth did. Jay was winded. Jay does get Jay gotta work. You gotta work on your cardio, buddy. I feel like he gets winded because of his entrance a lot of times. Like by the time he gets done with his entrance, he's
Yeah.
already blown up and he
Yep.
has to gather himself. I've noticed that in a lot of his matches. But Seth, man, Seth's the best wrestler on the planet. I don't care what anybody says.
I'm
Uh,
a huge fan.
like they put on a great match. They had a great match.
I watched the whole match.
Yes, I did too. I was glued. I was like, man,
Yep.
Part of me thought Seth was gonna win, but part of me thought Seth couldn't win. Like that would be so wrong.
Right.
it'd be so wrong if Seth won. There was shenanigans, of course. Sammy came out, which was surprising and got destroyed again by Braun Breaker. Like poor Sammy. Those guys are gonna have a banger match.
Yep.
Sammy and Braun are gonna have a really good match at some point in time. I'm pretty sure it might be a Money in the Bank. But man, kudos to Seth Rollins, kudos to Jey Uso. This match did so much for Jey Uso's championship reign. Already, just one match. But it really did put him in the upper atmosphere.
Yep.
Because he hung with Seth Rollins. You could say he was blown up. You could say Seth carried him. But at the same time, you still got to do your part. You still got to get it. You still got to get in there. You still got to perform. You still got to work. And they worked, man. They had a great. That was a great damn match, man. And Seth doesn't put on too many.
I got a friend of mine that swears that Sammy's going to turn on Jay, and I was like, he's not going to do that. I do not see a Sammy turn coming. There's too many other things at play. When we talk about Backlash in a minute, there's a couple other things. There's a couple of twists and turns that I have that I was talking to Paul and I was trying to worm my way into some stuff.
I got it.
This is a great match. This is a sensational match. Seth Rollins is absolutely the best wrestler on the planet next to CM Punk. He's great, and I love. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Now, I love Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins is far and away probably the best wrestler on the Raw roster by far right now.
Yeah. I completely agree. I mean, you couldn't go there was so many things that could have went wrong with this match, but I think everything went right.
Yeah,
everything that could have gone right in this match went that way. And both guys really gave it all. And I'm really glad Seth didn't win. I was really scared that Seth was going to win. And I think that would have soured me to a lot of it. But going into Backlash, I mean, Backlash is in a few weeks. I don't know why I thought Backlash was. Is it this weekend?
It's this weekend. Yeah, it's in 3 days.
I think May 25th. What is happening on May 25th? Is that
Saturday Night Main Event?
No, that's an AEW event. What am I thinking?
I don't know, but you're in the wrong world right now.
Shame on me. Shame on me. Backlash is this weekend.
Backlash is this weekend.
It sure is. I was thinking May.
Yeah, it's this Saturday.
Stupid AEW.
Punk made an appearance at the end of the match too, in case you forgot. And then Logan Paul knocks him out off camera.
Off camera.
That's fine. That's fine. Set that up for down the road.
Yes.
Backlash, which is this Saturday.
Saturday.
Not in 2 weeks. Man. Yeah, see, Saturday Night Main Event's on the 25th too.
There's an AEW event on the
nobody cares.
Obviously.
So Backlash only has 5 matches, right? I have thoughts about some of these matches.
Let's talk about them.
We got a fatal 4-way, right? Mm-hmm. We got Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, and not Damian Priest. Drew McIntyre, right?
Drew McIntyre. No, it's Damian Priest, Jacob Fatu, LA Knight.
Yeah, it's not Solo. I'm sorry, I apologize. Yeah. 2 different things could happen in this match. that I see.
Okay.
Jacob turning face and LA Knight turning heel. The LA Knight turning heel is the only possible place for his character to go right now. He's hit the top as high as he can go as a baby face. I think he has to turn. And the Jacob turn is inevitable because he's going to fight Solo at some point.
See, but I don't think Jacob needs to turn.
He doesn't need to actually doesn't need to actually embrace the fans.
Yeah.
He just can keep going the way he's going, and he's kind of already there.
Yes.
Right? Like, so him fighting Solo would technically make him more of a baby face, but he doesn't actually have to say anything. Kind of the way Tiffany is a baby face, but she's not pandering to the fans.
Correct.
Jacob can do that same exact thing, whereas LA Knight can go the other way by losing. Because I don't think there's any way that Jacob loses this match at all.
No.
I think there's a ton of outside shit happening in this match. Solo's going to be there. Damian's going to be there. There's going to be all kinds of weird outside interference.
Correct. Road Dogg. I know Road Dogg's watching right now. He's listening. Listen to what Frank said. Don't have Jacob Fatu start pandering to the crowd. That's going to ruin his character.
Exactly. Don't
turn him into a baby face and comes out there and starts doing the boogeyman neck thing and start pandering. That's not what we want to see. That's not why we cheer Jacob Fatu.
Keep him going on the line that he's going. That's perfect.
Exactly. Yeah, Jacob definitely doesn't lose it. No way he loses this match.
No. Becky versus Lyra. It's a predetermined outcome. Becky is going to win that belt because Becky can elevate that belt the way she did the last time she won a belt. I think that I understand why they're doing it. I don't know. I guess it's okay.
I'm still upset they didn't turn Lyra. I think Lyra needed that more for her character. Nobody believes Becky to be a heel. Right. They still cheer her.
Of course.
Like, she comes out there, she says bad things. She's trying to be angry to try to get the crowd to turn on her, but they're not. They're gonna cheer when she wins. They're gonna be super happy. They're gonna make Lyra feel terrible. Lyra should have turned. I think
there is now a fine line between being a baby face and a heel. And like Kenny said, Jacob has never once acknowledged the fans, and he never should. I agree with that.
Correct.
There's a way to be a face and not pander to the fans. Roman doesn't pander to the fans. Roman makes the fans pander to him.
Correct.
And it works. Now, Kenny's hot take that Lyra elevating the belt by beating Becky also is that's a way they could go. I can't see Becky losing, but Lyra beating someone with the star power that is Becky Lynch, that's a big, big, big moment.
See, the issue with that, and that I don't think she would elevate the belt by beating Becky. I think she would elevate herself. Like, the belt still feels it doesn't feel that important. It only feels important in important feuds.
Right.
And Lyra versus Becky is not the important feud. The important feud is going to be Bayley versus Becky. That's the feud we're working towards. I think that's the story they're going to tell. That's probably going to be a SummerSlam story. When Bayley comes back. Probably either before or right after Money in the Bank. Bayley might even get into Money in the Bank and somehow end up like losing some shenanigans. But I could see a world where both things, where Lyra wins this match to continue to elevate herself, and then maybe maybe a Money in the Bank losing it, because like Becky, I think the fans are getting to Becky. I'll be totally honest. Like, I could tell in that interview she just did, I could tell some of it's kind of getting to her.
Yep. The Becky Hogan stuff is getting to her.
The Becky Hogan stuff. And I think these wrestlers, especially when you equate their name to Hulk Hogan. Like she kept saying, like, don't equate me to this that's scumbag.
Yep.
And it's like, how can you not? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you not?
Not when the story comes out that you were the only reason you pitched this whole angle to come back. I mean, it's
Yeah. So I think she might lose at this one and then win it at Money in the Bank.
I think she wins, and yeah, I like a Becky, Lyra, and Bailey at Money in the Bank triple threat.
Oh, that'll be fire.
Yeah. And now we have Gunther versus Pat. Now I can see this going a couple of different ways. Man. Okay, walk with me.
I'm with you.
Gunther is going to lose because Goldberg is going to show up and cause the interference for Gunther to lose to start the program for Goldberg's final match at SummerSlam against Gunther. That's where I see this going.
I grew up as a Bret Hart fan. And because of that, I hate this with every bit of my being. Every fiber in my being hates Goldberg, just like Bret Hart.
I do not want to. The last time Goldberg wrestled left a sour taste in my mouth. But
every time.
But all the stuff I've been looking at stuff online, and I've been crunching some numbers, and I've been talking to some agents. Actually, I'm just pulling this out my ass, but I think that's a great place.
Yeah, for sure.
Goldberg is having a final match in 2020. Where are we at? 2025.
Yes.
It's going to be at SummerSlam. It's probably going to be against Gunther. They started the setup last year, and then it just kind of went nowhere. I can see him coming out now. It's the perfect vehicle to get in. I can see Michael Cole getting involved in this match at some point.
Yes, for sure. That's going to get the hugest pop of the night is when Michael Cole gets up from behind that desk.
Yep. Kenny, Kenny, you're right. It's really hard to carry a feud from Backlash now in May to August, especially with someone that's as part-time as Goldberg would be. Maybe they just plant the seed and Goldberg goes away. And you have another thing where Gunther's just yelling on the mic for weeks and weeks and weeks. Goldberg shows up here, yells a little bit, and then blah blah blah.
For sure. Oh,
okay. Clash of Champions, if it's in Saudi in June or July, would be the perfect place for Goldberg to have his final match. That's a huge payday.
I've read a few places they weren't doing a Saudi show this year.
But if they are,
if they are, Saudis love the old timers.
They do.
They'll pay Bill Goldberg so much money to show up there.
That would be and it would be easier to carry to June, maybe.
Correct.
Than it would be to carry to August. I like that.
For sure.
But I think Gunther loses because of interference. If it's not Goldberg, it's Big Papa Pump.
Oh my God. I mean, one Big Papa Pump versus a gorilla. So I think he could beat Gunther too. I think Gunther wins.
I won't be mad if Gunther wins though.
I think Michael Cole's going to throw in the towel because Pat's not going to tap.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like I think Gunther's going to and Pat's not going to tap. So instead of him choking him out, I think Michael Cole. That's my booking. That's my fantasy booking of that match. Because you want Gunther to look strong. Yeah, exactly, but you don't want Pat to look weak. Pat's not going to tap. And Michael Cole, he's gonna fight to get to the ropes, and Gunther's gonna pull him off the ropes and pull him back in the middle of the ring, and Michael Cole's gonna cry, and he's gonna throw in the towel, and he's gonna give one of the greatest calls.
You have him pass out like Stone Cold?
Yeah, because you don't want. I mean, you don't want him to look bad. Unfortunately, if that happens, that means Joe Tessitore comes on the mic for the rest of the match. I mean, for the rest of the night. But
Okay.
hey,
I like
hey,
Joe.
I'm not the biggest Joe Tessitore fan. But
Better than
either
Corey
way,
Graves.
you know, I'm not. I would love Booker T to come out there. Like
Oh, look.
that's just me. but yeah, I mean,
And no,
the
and
match
it's
could go either way. I could see both of those scenarios actually happening. One, Pat passing out, or two, interference causing Gunther to win, or yeah, causing Gunther to win. Um, I'm sorry, causing Gunther to lose. I could
oh,
see either one of those things happening. Oh man, okay, Kenny. I mean, see, everybody's
Kenny
so
likes
different.
Kenny likes Corey Graves. All right.
Exactly, everybody's different.
Yep.
That's the cool thing about WWE. They give us a little bit of everything.
Yep.
They give us a little bit of everything.
And then
Um,
we have Dominic versus Penta, which I think is going to be. I think this has the potential to be the match of the night.
correct.
I still think there's some fuckery going to happen in this match,
Of
and
course.
it's going to continue to alienate Finn from the Judgment Day, which is what we want. But I think Dominic retains. But I think this is going to be the match of the night.
Dominic retains. Judgment Day is gonna beat the crap out of Penta. Ray Phoenix comes out and makes the save.
I'm here for it. I'm here
Like,
for it.
yeah, they've been teasing Lucha Brothers. They've said Lucha Brothers like 3 times in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's no way we don't see that.
Okay.
Not saying those two can't be great single stars, but I
Sure.
think we're gonna get a banger tag team match at some point between the Judgment Day and the Lucha Bros. But yeah, Dom's definitely retaining. Dom's not losing it. He's not losing that title at Backlash. Let's see. We got a hot take.
I like the hot take.
Whoa, 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 Kenny.
Dom ain't got that many moves.
Dom, what? Dom can wrestle. What are
Dom
you
can
guys
wrestle. I
talking
know.
about?
I'm just being ornery.
Dom's got more than 5 moves. I mean, he has the 619 at least 3 times in a match, but I mean, just or attempts to hit the 619.
No, Penta being 0-3 against
sorry,
Dom doesn't sit right, but there could also be some interference to
Yeah.
make that a disqualification. Only because I'm experiencing some tummy issues at the moment. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna run real fast. The John Cena versus Randy Orton match. John Cena slapping the ref and ending the match early.
I can
Discuss that.
see
I'll
that.
be back in a minute.
All right. I could definitely see that happening. Yeah, John Cena versus Randy Orton for the world or the undisputed WWE title. There's no way John Cena loses this match. There's absolutely no way John Cena loses this match. I could see that. I don't think this is going to be a necessarily great match. I don't think it might even be a good match. It's going to be a slugfest. John Cena is kind of a shell of himself. Randy Orton is going to carry him through the match. But yeah, I could definitely see because Randy Orton infamously did that on John Cena about 10 years ago, maybe, where he slapped the ref on the outside when he was outside of the ring to retain his undisputed championship. Let's see. Oh man, Kenny, I don't think you have enough time to do that. Cena and Randy Orton had so many matches. Like they fought each other on main events so many times. They fought each other on undercards so many times. Man, that's a lot of matches. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, it's gonna be two craftsmen. They're gonna tell great stories, but it's not gonna be, it's not gonna be Dom and Penta. There's gonna be a lot of high flying in that match. It's gonna be a lot of moves. I know you say Dom has 5 moves, but I think that they're gonna have a lot of moves. This match is gonna have a lot of rest holds. It's gonna be a lot of stomping, a lot of punches. Um, okay, yeah, yeah. Just sticking with the PLEs. That's probably your best bet because Randy and John Those guys have a long story history. They've had a lot of matches, especially on television. But I mean, Backlash is going to happen. I think Money in the Bank happens like less than 3 weeks or like 3 weeks after Backlash. There's really no prep for Money in the Bank. So the 5 matches of Backlash, it feels short, but like you have to think that Money in the Bank is right around the corner. So I'm here for it. 5 matches. I mean, it could stand to add one more match to it. I would love to see one more match to it. But who knows? I don't know how long Frank is going to be because we're we're getting a little long in the tooth. We're getting a little long in the tooth here. But I do want to hang out. I don't want to just cut off the stream without Frank. Man, I don't. You know what? I really hope they don't do qualifiers. Just name 6 people. Like, it is okay having like, especially if we're getting that short of a turnaround into Money in the Bank. Unless they do triple threat qualifiers, I do love those because I love triple threat matches. But like having a Raw with like 8 matches, 8 qualifying matches 1 week, or 4 and 4, that just gets stale so quickly. I mean, we know who's gonna be in the Money in the Bank matches. But the question is, who's gonna win the Money in the Bank this year? Kenny, who do you think? Matt, if you're still here, who do you think stands to gain the most by winning the Money in the Bank this year? And I'll ask this question when Frank comes back. Who gains the most by winning Money in the Bank this year? Because I have a few ideas, but Ilya versus True versus Shaman. Yeah, exactly. Like the triple threat, I do like the triple threat matches. I hope they don't go to singles matches because those are no fun. And I feel like they're just endless. Like they have so many singles matches on a Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, and they're not really good matches because you already know who's going to win most of those matches. On the women's side, I really would love Chelsea Green to win the women's Money in the Bank. Yeah, I would love for Carmella to win too, but I don't foresee that happening. Oh no, you're good. You're good.
Ooh.
We just talking about John Cena not losing the world championship on Backlash, and then we just start talking about Money in the Bank. Who our early predictions or who stands to gain the most from winning the Money in the Bank this year?
Well, is my theory feasible?
Oh, for the smack to the face? Yes.
Not right away. Not right away.
No. He's in danger. Like, oh man, I'm about to lose. And then he just looks up at him just like Randy did.
Yep.
He just slaps him right in the face. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm almost 99% sure that's gonna happen. Like,
me too.
Not and I was saying it's not gonna be the greatest match you have ever seen.
No,
But it's gonna be some good storytelling. It's gonna be some good. Those 2 guys are seasoned enough to where they could tell a great story. They're not gonna, it's not gonna be Dom versus Penta. It's not gonna be that fast moving and that hard hitting. But
right,
it's gonna be a solid story. It's gonna be better than Cody and Cena at WrestleMania. That's what I will say.
Okay, that's fair. And I don't think Cody comes back. I don't think you see Cody till closer to Money in the Bank.
For sure. But yeah, I was just saying that I thought Chelsea winning the Money in the Bank. That's my women's pick for Money in the Bank this year.
Okay.
For the men, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna give it to Braun because I think they want him to be Seth's underling, but they don't want him going after the world title just yet.
Not yet, no.
Because that would have been my pick. If he wasn't with Seth, I would have picked Braun to be the Money in the Bank guy and like cash in that night.
I hate the damn briefcase now, but do you think Cody comes back and wins it? Because I don't want to see that. I don't need Cody to win it. And like Kenny said, I don't really want to see a former champion winning it. Or at least not a recent former champion Roman Reigns isn't on the poster. Cody's on the poster, but Cody could come back to face John Cena.
I don't want Cody
to win it. I really don't want Gunther to win it. I'm looking at who's on the poster. Jacob Fatu's on the poster.
Jacob's not. I don't think they're gonna give it to Jacob this year. I think he's gonna elevate the
Rey Mysterio's on it. I don't need that.
I think LA Knight might win it.
I mean, just because he's not on the poster doesn't mean he's not going to be in the match. So
yeah, I think he gains the most.
I hope Jake
by winning. No, I haven't seen the poster. I've not looked at the poster.
Yeah, Kenny send it to us, but it's got Rhea and Tiffany, Seth, Bianca, Gunther, Charlotte, Ray, Jay, Penta, Jacob, and then in the front and center, it's Cody and Cena. CM Punk is over Cody's right shoulder on the poster.
You want to see a human being melt down? Let CM Punk win the Money in the Bank. I'll be unbearable on this damn podcast after CM Punk wins the Money in the Bank. I don't want to see that.
Neither do I really.
I don't like you guys said. I don't want to see any former champ win the Money in the Bank.
I need something fresh.
Yes. LA Knight is fresh. LA Knight could really go after anybody with the title because, like, he's kind of a tweener where he could really turn heel tomorrow and nobody would bat an eye. But he's also popular enough that he can kind of stand up to anyone with the title. If it's Seth, if it's Jay, I could definitely see him turning heel and going after Jay. Him and Cena on the mic would be interesting, but Cena would flame him Cena would bury him for real.
Yeah.
And it would be bad. It would be bad. Penta winning would be fun. But we got some time to talk about the Money in the Bank. I was just saying that till you came back because I didn't want to end the pod with you gone. but we've been on the mic for an hour and 43 minutes.
Yes, we have.
And I do think the Island of Relevancy, we're gonna have to take that ferry off the island for tonight, so your boy could go get something to eat. When I say I appreciate you, Kenny, for showing up, man, and just showing love, Matt for showing up and showing love, and Frank,
100%.
You for just being here. This is so much fun. I love talking wrestling. I love having these conversations.
Me too.
These are the dark days of the WWE after WrestleMania. That high goes away, but it's still fun because I love watching it. I love talking about it.
Me too.
But until next time, until next week, after Backlash, which is going to be, I think Backlash, usually when I don't think the WWE's PLEs are going to be good, they end up being bangers. So I do think this is going to be a really fun event. It's going to be shorter than 5 hours, so there's always that. Don't get hit with too many kendo sticks this weekend, Frank.
I ain't getting hit with nothing. I'm staying home and watching it by myself if I can handle it, if I can.
For sure, man.
I got some TV shows to catch up on, video games to catch up on. I got back-to-back hockey games Thursday night. I'm going to be dead for this weekend, so.
I feel you. So we'll be in the chat. We'll discuss Backlash. And until then, we'll catch y'all next week on the Island of Relevancy. And of course, I'm not ready, but I'm always ready. Oh, I just lost my screen. What just happened?